Hey, what's up? Shay here from Guardrail. This is the Hard Whale monthly recap, where I give you all the best music from this month so you don't have to sift through everything. I make it easy for you. Make sure to like the video, comment what was wrong, what was right, what I missed, and to subscribe for further content. Alright, let's just get going. In alphabetical order for the top here, so it's not in what's best or worst, we start off with An Autumn for Crippled Children. If you like black metal, you should like this. If you don't, there's a good chance you will. Unlike Spectral Rune from last month, this is more of like ASMR black metal. As the morning dawns, we close our eyes is their newest album, and it's some of the calmest I've ever heard. Like, it's like ASMR, shoegaze, and The Cure, but all through a black metal filter, if that makes sense. You should definitely try it out if you like all those other things. My favorite track was Of Your Light. It reminded me of the Twin Peaks theme, or like music that would be in the show, if they had black metal. Next up is Blood Sermon. Never stop the madness, and I hope they don't, because it works out really well for them here. It's up-tempo hardcore with a thrash edge. It really just makes me want to get up and move, you know, like start dancing and stuff, so that's always really good. The art is what drew me into this piece, though, so if that sounds interesting to you, give this a shot. Next up is the Devil Wears Prada Zombie 2. This is their second go at the zombie concept EPs. And like their last album, The Act, was a little disappointing to me, but this is more of like a return to form, and I really enjoyed this. And I like how the series goes together. It's just a concept album about zombies. I mean, how can you beat that, right? Next up is Grave Miasma. This is Abyss of Wrathful Deities. It sounds like it's straight out of the 90s. You know, it's like if Obituary lived in a cave in Egypt. The song Rogi Yapa has a little ditty riff starting at 2:20, and it's a good riff. Then we have Gridiron, Despise, A Split, Worldwide Brotherhood. Usually, up till now, Despise has been really on point for me, and Gridiron hasn't really hit the mark, but on this little EP split, it's flipped, where I was really impressed by the Gridiron half, but the Despise half didn't do that much for me compared to their other pieces, so I was happy for that, though, because it gives me more bands to fully enjoy. If you like more like beatdown or like street-related hardcore, you'll probably like this. Next up is Mental Cruelty, A Hill to Die Upon. This is extremely well-played deathcore from Germany. Blackened deathcore. It's definitely brings some like Lorna Shore vibes, especially their newer stuff. Not so much like Worm Shepherd type, but I was very surprised by this. I was going into expecting to not like it too much because I've been pretty out of deathcore lately, got pretty tired of most of it, but for some reason, I don't know if I was just in the mood for it, but this thing was hitting me when I was listening to it. The 238 in Abaddon caught me like deathcore hasn't in years, like 2 or 3. And then 208 in Death Worship has, it sounds like a brutal farm. I laugh at it every time I hear it, but I do enjoy it. But yeah, check this out if you're into deathcore for sure. And if you're not, but you like just heavy music in general, you might like this one. Next up is Mouth for War, Life Cast in Glass. Is named after Pantera, the band is, but does not really sound like Pantera, so sorry. It sounds like Boundaries and Varials combined, like Pain Again Varials. This raw, gritty metalcore from Colorado, and I was pretty impressed by this. I really like the production on it, giving it that feel of like an actual band and not super robotic feeling, and that's always a plus for me. But yeah, it was pretty solid. Next up is the Space Cowboy and If I Die First split. If I Die First being that SoundCloud rapper band, right? This is a Sure Disaster split. This sounds like you're walking into a Hot Topic in the mid-2000s, and this would be up on the speakers. So it's like the Space Cowboy half is softer than their last few releases, which I was a little bit surprised by, but I still liked their songs on it. And then The If I Die First side, I feel like was almost heavier, which is not what I was expecting. And then there's a lot more cleans on the Space Cowboy stuff, which is also not what I expected. But I feel like if you miss Warped Tour, you'll probably like this. Next up is UndoK from Hot. GAS, Get a Star. Zach Hill is consistent, as consistent can get. I really am not greatest with terms of this, but this experimental electronic music here is so good. It gives you vibes of, obviously, Death Grips and Machine Girl in there, and it just... Something about this is when you put it on, for me, it's just like, yep. I could tell, like, 30 seconds into each song, I was probably going to save them all. They're so well played, so well done, so interesting at the same time. Finally, in the top of the list here, we have Weezer's Van Weezer. It's their best since the White Album, which it's not that hard to do that. I know a lot of people are going to say OK Human, but for some reason that didn't hit me that hard. And this album has sounds of like Blue Album in it, sounds of Green for sure, and a little bit of Pinkerton on the end there. And it definitely has a corny touch, but they're going for it in I feel like a really good way this time. Them memeing on like classic heavy metal stuff is way better than them trying to do rap stuff. But I loved this album. Quick hits, let's go. This is the other notable albums from the month that I didn't think were as good, but still check them out. All Black, Thank You for Fucking With Me. It has good beats and bars paired with some lame lines. It definitely had some bangers on it, but it kept taking me out of it. BB Rexa, Better Mistakes. This is a varied pop record with varied quality. There's a lot of different like slow, upbeat songs in there. My favorite would be the song she did with Doja Cat on there, obviously. Two pop queens on the same track. How can you beat that? Let's go. Next up is Big Deal, A Great Deal of Pain. This is a brand new band out of Michigan. It's like hardcore, but it has some Slayer-esque riffs in it. At least that's what I thought. I pretty much enjoyed this record. Next up is Burial Pit, Subhuman Scum. They say they're violent sludge, and that's exactly what they are. The songs were a little bit long for me for what they held in there, but it was a pretty good listen. It's like if Crowbar came out now, but they were 10 times as heavy. Next up is Fiddlehead, Between the Richness. This one started with the intro track, the whole vibe of this thing for me. It was over before I'm ready for it to be. The songs all went a little bit quicker than I want them to. I know a lot of people probably like that for this, but I just wish the songs were a little bit longer with this type of music. Next up is Gosudar, Morbid, Despotic Ritual. Russian death metal done right, cavernous vocals, dark guitar harmonies, low and slow riffs, check, 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 across the board. Next up is Ground War Demo, another new Michigan hardcore band. This one, a lot more Modern Warfare 2 vibes is what I saw someone say, and I gotta agree. This is just heavy hardcore done very well. Next up is Kawanashi, Dear Lemon House, You Ruined Me, Senior Year. I almost put this in the top section of the month, and I might later on in the year feel that way, but for some reason, a lot of the album wasn't doing it for me, but it's a bouncy alternative metalcore, one of the most unique in the game for sure. But I think part of that might be what was taking me out of it. I wish the songs were a little bit more reined in sometimes, but I also might come to like that the more I listen to it. And finally, we have YG and Mozzie, Community Service. This collaboration feels more like community service than an album. No, but feels more like a mixtape. Really, it sounds like something I would have downloaded off Dat Piff in like middle school. It has some bangers on it for sure, but it feels very unrealized, and the songs are usually shorter than they should be. Anyways, what did I miss? Maybe I just didn't like it. But anyways, tell me in the comments, what did you like from this? What did you gain? What album are you going to listen to now? Let me know. Am I being a help? Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And this has been Shay from Guardrail on the Hard Whale Monthly Recap, May Edition.